Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning from wherever you are. And if I'm sounding funny, it's because I've got a bit of a painful tongue, some sores on my tongue, so I might be talking a little funny. That being said, I can't wait for Friday to talk about this because there's a couple of tidbits on gaming that have dropped. So I thought, let me do them now while the news is hot. And firstly, we are going to just talk about, the lighter side of gaming news. That's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been announced to be, it's really weird how they announced it, but it's playable characters in Street Fighter 6. So that's good. I have Street Fighter 6. It's a beat 'em up. It's a fighting game. It's fine for what it is. I just kind of play those, just kind of have fun, mess around and all this kind of stuff. I don't really take it seriously. So, but there'll be a nice addition, as you can see. I am a Turtles fan, so it'll be good to see them. Unfortunately, Mutant Mayhem, the latest film, was boring, generic pile of crap. So, save yourself money, don't go watching it. Now, onto the two frustrating bits of news. Well, number one, this one I don't really care about. I'm just mad for the fans about this one. And that is, they announced the original Red Dead Redemption is coming to PlayStation 4, 5 and Nintendo Switch. It's going to be backwards compatible so you can play it on the PlayStation 5. But it's announced basically for PS4 and Nintendo Switch. It's not a remaster. It's not a remake or anything like that. It is just a port. And it's not been done by Rockstar. It's been passed on to a UK developer called Double 11 Studios. And they did like the Rust games. And all I can say about that is Rockstar don't exactly have a very good track record when it comes to giving games over to other companies to port. Did we not forget the big botch that was the GTA 3 trilogy? And on that note as well, they're going to charge you 45 quid or $50 or 50 quid around there for the privilege of buying a port. Just a port. Not a remaster, not a remake, just a port of a game. But this is typical of Rockstar Games. This is a company that I hate with a passion. More so than most companies, because they used to be one of my favourite until Take-Two Interactive just absolutely destroyed them. And, they gave me one of my all-time favourite gaming trilogies in the first GTA 3, Vice and San Andreas. And then they boosted it up by going too realistic with like GTA 4. And I didn't really like GTA 5. I just enjoyed playing it with my mates. But that didn't last very long. So I'm not a big fan of Rockstar 2. Red Dead Redemption 2, the game was good. Not as good as the first one. The storyline was perfection. But online was a pile of crap. And if I wasn't playing with a friend, I wouldn't have even bothered with it. But we did have a lot of fun griefing, because it was the only thing to really do on there, on Red Dead 2 online. But what is typical with Rockstar is they had the hissy fit that because people weren't buying enough gold for Red Dead Redemption 2 online, they weren't investing into it, so the game was very bare bones, basic, and hardly getting any updates. Well, the problem is, if you make it too realistic and also very restrictive because you want people to buy the gold, there is no fun to be had. Where are the train robberies? Robbing a bank? Being an outlaw? That element is not even in the game. You could shoot somebody in the middle of nowhere and then there's fucking police chasing you. It's just absolute garbage. Rockstar do not know what fun is. Every fun is tied to monetization, and I can't stand that company. I loathe them, and they have a bad reputation for how they treat their workers. And so them doing this with Red Dead Redemption 1 does not surprise me at all, and people really should just let these kind of companies die. When you have Larian Studios bringing out Baldur's Gate 3, which has more content than you can throw a goddamn stick at, and even Warner Brothers Game just allowing Hotkey, the company that made Hogwarts Legacy, to just make a single player game with no micros or any crap. I mean, that game's been out since February and we've had no updates, no word on anything, and that's wonderful. They just released the game and just let you do it, hours upon hours of content. Tears of Kingdom the same. So when you have all these amazing single player experiences that are selling like gangbusters, Rockstar is still just kind of stuck in that shitty, greedy mentality. And to be fair to them, why shouldn't they be? Why shouldn't they be? They're making money hand over fist with GTA 5. That's why GTA 6 is around. 10 years GTA 5 has been around for. 10 years. I cannot fathom how that game is still being played by people. I hate it. But because you idiots keep spending your money on it, Rockstar have no reason to release GTA 6. And if you weren't spending money on GTA 5, they probably wouldn't be making the GTA 6. So they're that kind of company. They're not a fun company. They're a horrible company. And so this is not a surprise for me. So, and I just feel bad for people that are fans of this company. I can't even speak with this tongue hurting so much. But I feel sorry for fans that are people that are fans of this company. But I won't feel sorry for them if they fork out 50 quid just to play a game that they can play on their Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 for free because they've already got it. Or they can just download it on PC and play it for free if they have a PC. Yes, I'm condoning piracy because fuck Rockstar Games. Speaking of another mediocre company that releases broken games, we just had the announcement for Modern Warfare 3. Okay, we knew this was coming, but a couple of years ago, when the disaster of, I think it was Call of Duty 1942 or whatever it was, happened, and there was a lot of backlash because Cold War as well kind of went to shit and all this, even though the zombie game in that was Outbreak, fucking 10 out of 10, easily the best zombie game I've ever played. When you play it co-op with a mate, it's fantastic. But because of those disasters, they turned around and said, yeah, okay, you know what, we're going to do a biannual release just to make it easier, because when we're not doing a core Call of Duty game, we still have the God, what's the name of the online, you know, their online one. Oh my, Warzone. We still have Warzone to keep us ticking over, so people can work on a biannual release. Well, unfortunately for them, Modern Warfare 2 has been an absolute disaster because it's a broken pile of shit. And it doesn't even work on PlayStation 5. Again, my friend who I play with all the time couldn't get his to work at all. It only started working about 2 months after I purchased it on PlayStation 4, where I could get a solid server and I wasn't getting kicked. It works fine on PS4 at the moment. Still doesn't work on my friend's PlayStation 5. Neither does Warzone 2. Neither does Warzone 2. He's gone back to try and download it and play it. Doesn't work. So both Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, I don't know if it's unique to his PlayStation 5 or not, but trying to get an answer from the subreddits from Call of Duty fans is like trying to get blood out of a stone, because they are the absolute dumbest fan base I've ever had to deal with. They're so dumb, like unbelievably dumb. Like, I mean, dumb. You ask them a simple question and they give you a completely different answer. So trying to find out if any other people have had as many problems on the PS5 with that game has been impossible. But, you know, I pre-ordered that game because I got it for really cheap, for like £50 rather than the release of almost £70 or 65 quid or whatever it was. So that's why I pre-ordered it, and I haven't played it because my friend can't play it. I've barely played it. And Warzone 2 is absolute garbage. And here they have the balls to announce Modern Warfare 3 in November 10th. What the hell? And it got massively downvoted. Both Red Dead Redemption and Modern Warfare 3's announcement have been massively downvoted. And the comments are all the same. Sitting there going, you can't even get Warzone 2 to work and you're going to be releasing Modern Warfare 3. So it's just... Again, these kind of companies, they deserve to... But it's not just that. It's like, again, with Activision, and, you know, there's a whole thing of them that they've completely screwed over Diablo fans, and it's to be expected because they probably top the list for the most egregious sons of bitches when it comes to monetization, along with EA. You know, Rockstar aren't that far off either, but Activision. There is no Blizzard, by the way, so it's just Activision. Okay, so Activision with Diablo, they brought you into the game, they got you all nice and comfy, then they put an update that nerfed the game, forcing you to kind of buy your way out of the problem, which is very, very typical of that company. And I keep telling people, and I told people this, I keep saying to them, watch the updates, screw the game over, because they even do this with Call of Duty. They just kept messing with the weapons all the time in Warzone to the point where you didn't know what was good and what was bad, and what was once good was bad, and what was once bad was even worse. So they toyed with that game to the point where it stopped becoming fun, and Warzone 2, fucking forget it, it's just a big pile of shit. And so here we are, announcing Modern Warfare 3, like that's going to solve anything. And people are going to buy it because it's the biggest selling game of the year, as per normal. And we're never going to have any real changes because, you know, fear of missing out in the gaming industry is worse than any other industry I've ever known. And I'm a toy collector. And even toy collectors now kind of ditching the hobby because it's getting too damn expensive. But with gaming, you know, there just seems to be no end in sight for the kind of greed and mediocre putting out. Like, I'm just so grateful that this year, the games that got the most sales and the most kind of coverage were things like Hogwarts Legacy, Tears of the Kingdom, even Resident Evil 4, but then they went a bit egregious with their monetization afterwards. And Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is looking like it's going to smash out a bunch of records on Steam. And it's only just come out on PC. There's still other ports to come for it to come out with. And again, that one, no monetization, no update. You're just getting the game for what it is. And it's already sold like a fucking crazy amount of copies. So, you know, I'm just a bit, just kind of fed up. And I wish these AAA companies would die out. And we just had the smaller, go back to the smaller studios that release fun, loving games. Not these bloated AAA games that don't offer you anything other than greed and monetization, you know. I do hope Modern Warfare 3 is good and isn't egregious. Like, I mean, okay, Call of Duty is not that egregious, you know. It's a battle pass and it's skins and all this kind of crap. All the guns are free, so I'll give them credit on that. But the game doesn't work, so they get no credit. The game just doesn't work. It's always broken. It's one of the worst Modern Warfare games, one of the worst Call of Duty games I've ever bought. The other ones I haven't bought is because they're really, really crap. But this one, I wanted it because Modern Warfare 2, and it was broken and crap. So, you know, booyah sucks to me. Live and learn next time. But Modern Warfare 3, unless the reviews are good, and I'm going to wait a couple of months before I buy it. I'm not getting it straight away. If I get it. Which I probably won't, to be fair, because, you know, there's just no point. Because if I get that, then I have to get PlayStation Plus. And I don't want to do that. So I'll probably give that a miss. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Bunch of nonsense. Screw you, Activision. Screw you, Rockstar Games. I hope both of those companies go under, if I'm being honest. And I just want to see the rise of smaller independent studios, especially with Unreal Engine 5 opening up so many possibilities. Just, let's continue with the rise of the indie games, because these AAA sons of bitches are just, they're too far gone. And I'm happy that live service games are dying out as well, because it just shows you a lesson that we're all broke and we don't want to have to keep... Gaming shouldn't be a chore, it should be fun. And on that note, I'll leave you and let normality resume. Oh, apart from the normality of these AAA companies screwing us over.